You're watching WCSTV.
And this is Malice.
I'm Rob Lynn.
I'm Douglas Roxy Gray.
I'm Jared Martin.
I'm Brandon Coldoy.
And we are Malice.
We've been together for about a year and a half now.
The way that we went about developing our sound, a lot of us, we like to play video games, we like horror movies, so we'd like to tie that into our music somehow. When we first created the band, the name of the band was going to be Melody of Malice, partly because we felt that that was something that we really wanted to touch on, was the malice of the world. So it was something that maybe personally people didn't relate to, but they could relate to as a whole. As far as our look goes, really to begin with, we didn't put on so much of a great show. So I think in order to make up for that, we tried to come up with extra props that would help portray the music. Eventually we all became better entertainers, but in the meantime, we used a lot of black lights to help portray, a dark feel, so that way when people listen to our music, you didn't just hear it, but you can maybe feel it too. As far as where we want our band to go in the future, of course, every band wants to be famous and every band wants to be successful, which that's all part of, being a band. But I think overall, we'd really like people to understand and accept our music and appreciate it the same way that we do it, in the same way.
Alright, well this is our vocal booth right here. Now it's kind of strange. The reason that we have this is the workstation case. The type of material that this is made out of, it's able to cancel out any surrounding noise, so it completely isolates the vocals. So it gives us better quality vocals since we have, a mediocre home studio. It's not the best, but basically the methods that we use is what makes our music sound, decent and have good quality to it. So.
Actually, Rob and I have been best friends since 6th grade. Actually,
I've been playing drums for about 5 or 6 years now. I was in marching band, and I originally wanted to play guitar actually, because I thought guitarists were really cool. So I went marching band, but unfortunately they don't have guitar. So they put me in auxiliary percussion, and I had a friend who played tenor drums, and I started watching him and play, and so I told my parents, that I really wanted to get a drum set someday. And I remember I was driving down on 275 one day, and I noticed Guitar Center in big red letters, and I saw drums, and I told them to pull over because we had to go in there. So we went around, looked around, and that's when I got my first foreign series that I still have today.
as far as guitar goes, started when Rob did, because really I had no other motivation to get me to learn an instrument. I was always a mediocre guitar player. I wasn't so into making myself a better guitarist, but I just really liked the writing and composing aspects of music. We started out at a modern rock kind of stage, and we moved our way up to more of a metal sound, which I think challenged us both, because it made us both better musicians in that aspect. And we still kind of use that now. I wouldn't consider ourselves a metal band. Unfortunately, the lineup that we had before this didn't work out the way that we had planned. We just started to become too hardcore metal, we were getting away from the views and the aspects of, the vision of Malice that we wanted. So I think after that happened, I sang casually all the time, and I decided to take the lead as the frontman. And quite honestly, I don't think I was cut out for it, but I really wanted to do it. I think over time I started developing my own sense. I got past the idea of trying to follow in the footsteps of our previous singer, and I started to do my own thing. And I want to say I'm still perfecting my sound as a singer now, but I want to say that definitely we have the sound that we were going for. That I've become the frontman, that we always wanted.
What I enjoy about being in Malice is that I can incorporate all my skills and talents as a drummer and as a recording engineer?
Honestly, what we enjoy about being in Malice, since it's both our creations for the most part, not so much performing, but I think putting it together and creating the actual sound. We've gotten into a lot of the editing now. I've gained an understanding of the recording aspect of music, and it really makes you look differently at music. I hear things now that I didn't hear when I used to listen to music previously. But I want to say that's probably like what we enjoy most about it, is making music, editing it, making it fun to listen to.
These are my basses, and this is my PV 5-string. I use it for more of a classic, more solid sound, and it's also one of my only passive basses, which means it's a lot cleaner and more, it's got a heavier low sound. And then I've got the horror bass, which Rob and Doug customized for me. I became a part of Malice because I met Rob at school, and at first he came up and talked to me and said his band was looking for a bassist. And at first he sent me a couple demos, and I was kind of reluctant just because the music it kind of sounded like every other like high school band. And then I got together with a couple of friends. It wasn't organized or structured at all, and they would just play their own instruments, and we just never got anywhere. So I decided to tell Rob I'd try out, and I learned a couple songs. We got together and we finally played, and that was the moment where I got really excited about it, because it's really cool to have 3 musicians in a room and actually be able to play something that you listen to like every day. I've been playing bass for about 5 to 6 years. I've always been into music because my parents would always take me to shows, and I've been to tons of concerts, and just watching people on stage really inspired me to try and do that myself. So I just sat down with the bass, went online, kind of looked up some tabs, and just tried to figure out how to play it on my own. I just taught myself from there. What I like about being in Malice is being in a group of people who play their instruments well, have the same idea and goals toward music that I do.
This is my workstation. This is the Trending Stream, and right here you can see that we've got it on this stand. It's called the Spider. It's got a lot of cool features on it. We've got a 4-channel chaser that I can adjust the speeds on of lights. So I have these little switches right here to turn lights on. As you can see, it adjusts lighting. I can switch it to audio and adjust the lights myself. And right here is, I've got it set up to our sampling part. You can edit where it goes on the keys, and depending on how far I make it, I can play it through either just one key or play it through more than one things. So
before I was in Malice, I first played my own music. I started composing music a while ago and played at a few different places. I probably have to say, after a while of playing my own music, I started getting more into what my brother started with, more the music that he played. After he noticed how we kind of shared the same taste on music, he wanted me to join into the band so I could help contribute. It made more of the horror factor. I started playing piano when I was about 7 years old, and I kept on building up from then. Started out with just playing my own music. I started playing music from games that I really enjoyed, and after about that point I started to create anything closely related to that music of my own. And since then I've pretty much just been helping Malice's music style. I'd probably have to say the second most enjoyable thing about being in Malice is our live performances. I wear a mask, and I kind of use that as my way to portray the dark feeling of Malice.
Everywhere around each corner, take a breath if you really